All right, guys, welcome to the Real Talk Tuesday. I was a little ahead of schedule tonight, to say the least. I was an hour ahead, but we are on schedule tonight, and again, a lot of. It's going to be a very good conversation. A lot of information is going to be passed tonight, and then we're gonna. All right, so let me do my little bit of business here that I'm supposed to do here right now. That's why I'm having this delay in my speech, because I know right now I'm talking to myself. Let me go over on this other channel and see if this is the same deal. Okay, that's to the public. That's cool. All right, so here we are again. As you get in here, this is the official. This is the Real Talk Tuesday again. Earlier, I had a short conversation with Mr. Elliot Middleton, and Mr. Middleton is the owner of Middleton's Village Barbecue, which is going to be located in Andrews and side of the Exxon, where the old subway sat. And that's going to take place on January 1st, where he will always also be giving away a car to a one lucky winner who was selected at the is going to be selected from a couple people who were at the food rally we had during the mayor's campaign for re-election, and he did win that re-election. And so here we are right now. Let's bring him on up here. How you doing, sir? Welcome to Andrews, the podcast.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to be back. That's what's up, man. I'm glad to have you back. You're still not the mayor over here, but you're still the mayor of Andrews. So I'm glad you got your position.
So I can't be the mayor of the Andrews, the podcast.
Oh no, we got a mayor over here. We got a dictator over here. We don't even have elections over here.
I'm assuming that's you, huh?
And I know your track record over there in Iraq and all that. So you you get on some freedom fighting stuff over there, man. But all jokes aside, man, great to have you back. Congratulations. Welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. A bit of bad news to start off this week, Wood. Not so much bad news, but it didn't go in our favor. Our Yellow Jackets, we lost down there in Hampton County. Guys played their hearts out. I promise you. Now they lost to a very good team, but at a point in the game, I think we just couldn't muster enough offense, and then we couldn't, not having our ace quarterback back there, it really showed up. And but as far as effort, man, them guys laid it out there, and you could see it on their faces, at the end of this game. But shout out to Coach Durham. He was named Coach of the Year, 8-2A Coach of the Year.
Okay, great.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, I didn't make it up, and I was exhausted after Tuesday night, and I had to take some time off. But I knew you would have been out there covering it, and it's getting tough. And I think a lot of the challenges that you mentioned, one, our quarterback, which Brandon Cumbie, was injured, but we had others that were severely injured, playing through a lot of pain, and trying to get this thing done. So again, hats off to the players and the coaching staff for a job well done this season. And you see some of the results. We have eight of our players have been named all region.
Absolutely.
Of course, you mentioned earlier Levon White, who was named to the North-South All-Star game or team that will play December. I can't remember the exact date, but well deserving. That's a tough young man, and I think he's going to do well at the next level.
Absolutely.
And so and to coach for his selection as a coach of the year. So not a bad season at all. They came off a very successful season last year, and I think they maintained for the most part with a fairly young team. I know we had 15 seniors this year, but I'm inspired by the class that's moving up, especially our sophomore class. Those guys are going to be something to reckon with Nick coming up this 2024 season. And so I look forward to seeing them back out there on the gridiron. First year playing on the turf, and I'd be interested to know how many of the injuries were caused by any of the turf. And I didn't hear a lot of information about that. I think it's just probably twist ankles, those things probably from just the contact and being a contact sport. But it was our first year playing on the AstroTurf, and it looked great. But again, if it's not, if it's an injury producing kind of thing, it's probably something they're gonna have to look at. Probably the cleats, and I don't know if we had the right cleats to play on the AstroTurf, but it's some things that they're gonna have to look at to see what caused a lot of these lower extremity injuries.
Yeah, and
the cheerleaders, did a fantastic job. The coaches, I talk to Monique all the time, about how well these young ladies perform out there, how well they're dressed, and just the professional cheering that we saw this year. And shout out to Monique and the coaches. I don't remember the names of the other coaches, but I know Monique Thompson was an integral part of what we saw out there on the sideline. So big shout out to the Gators, our Jackets.
Yeah, man. And salute to the folks down there in Hampton County. That they had, again, that was a very talented team. You know what I mean? I left there knowing that if we were full squad with full, if we had our quarterback, baby, we was winning that game right there. We was coming out of there with it that night because the toughness, they couldn't. I mean, and our young guys, again, like you say, that sophomore class, and I watched some of them guys. I watched Chris and them limp out there like there was no quit, like there was, And so my daughter laughed at me because I got a little teary-eyed after the game. She was like, "You're gonna have to toughen up."
So Kaja called you out, huh?
Oh man, but she don't understand. She don't understand. She don't understand, man. That's
Yeah, when you play the game, you watch these young fellas out there getting after it, man. It's it does, pull at your heartstrings, and so very proud of all those guys, and I look forward to seeing them play again for the high school and those who are moving up to the next level.
Absolutely, man. Welcome to Andrews Podcast. We're gonna put something together, man, for you guys. Yeah, and like I said, being that close to the action this year and being there, man, and them guys made me really feel like they are part of the team. You know what I mean? Like, I know they enjoyed the pictures, but that was a good feeling that they even enjoyed, what I was doing, and so they started to expect me to be there, and I started expecting to be there. So
you travel a lot. You covered and again, you and I talk off camera about how important it is to capture these memories because again, I think it's 41 years or whatever it is since we last played, and all from that era, what we have is newspaper clippings and a few photos here and there. And again, if you couldn't really make out who was really making the tackle, you'd see us etched in our number, try to take credit for it. But what these guys have is some very beautiful action shots, some live film that you don't have to rely on the coaching staff to provide you those things. You have them right there, and you did well for those young men. And the thing is, and for a lot of them who didn't get the attention that they probably deserve because there's so talented out there for whatever reason, you're able to highlight those young men and the young ladies doing the podcast and really brought light to the talent, like Aiden, you're talking Zion, but Zion was the starter. He's been getting at it the whole time. But there's a lot of those guys that didn't get the time that Zion and Brandon and all those other guys got. We were able to get out there, have a good game, and then be in front of the cameras and have some pictures and things to remember that time by. So again, shout out to yourself. You should for the sacrifice and the commitment to making that happen.
Well, that was that was it was easy. You know what I mean? I can't take credit for that. I mean, because it was fun.
Yeah.
But I look forward to moving forward. You know, with the program.
Yeah.
And big step was made last night. Became an official member of the Booster Club. And there's the application on the screen right there, folks. And you don't have to live in Andrews to be a part of that Booster Club, but you can't sit back and want to affect change if you're not in the fight. And that's just the bottom line to that. Any comments on that?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to attend my first Booster Club meeting last night, and yeah, we need to get involved. If you care about you're a big fan of the Yellow Jackets and want to see the teams get what they need, it's never going to be enough funding. So when we get in and generate funds for them, like we did through the Alumni Association, you know, with the Yellow Jacket, the tunnel, the statues and all those things, you know, those things we were able to bring there that probably could not have come through the Booster Club. And the Booster Club plays a key role. So it need to have the right people in there to help move things along. And so we can, you know, again, cut back on the criticism and get in there and be a part of the solution. And so we will all join that and help where we can. And again, shout out to Ms. Luann and Mr. Raymond. They're part of this thing. And so you got the class 76 well represented in there. Hey, but I want to go back real quick because I know you got away from me talking about you. The work, and again, the work, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of work that you did for the school, it wasn't just on Andrews. So when you went to these other schools and took pictures of those folks, like Marion, pictures doing their homecoming, you got parents and players reaching out to Jamal from other places. So the work that you do is valuable when it comes down to these kids and putting out the correct information. So I want to encourage you to continue to do that. And I know you will. You've been doing this a lot longer than you and I have been doing these podcasts, but the work that you do is invaluable. So stay the course. Those kids will always remember you. So keep up the good work on that. Now back to so Booster Club is important. Let's join. I want to also, and I don't want to get, I don't think I'm getting ahead of the coach.
Go ahead.
One thing that, that came out there positive last night is he's going to establish a Hall of Fame, Andrews High School Hall of Fame. And with the intent of that going into effect, I think April, if I'm not mistaken, April of next year. So he's going to be building, his committee to set, laying out the
parameters,
that thing. So that is much needed. I know we have like a Hall of Fame down at the school district for some of the standouts that are along the wall, but this is specific to the athletes that are coming out of Andrews High School that need to be recognized, and then the kids that follow their family members that are represented on that will inspire them, and it just brings a lot of camaraderie back that we had. Remember when we played ball back in the day. So big shout out to the coach and the Principal Mahone for recognizing the need for that and then taking action.
Because and when people talk about back in the day how good it was, a lot of it was surrounded by around Andrews High football, and I mean that's just the truth of the situation. And that's what small towns are. I mean, they did a whole TV show on Friday Night Lights. And so being a part of that Booster Club, guys, is important. You know what I mean? Again, what they say, don't talk about it, be about it. The application's on my page, download it, get the information. Any information you need, get it from me or Ms. Luana, Mayor Frank, and be a part of that situation.
And not just football, basketball is about to kick off, I think, on the 28th.
Yes, I've seen that. Coach Relly, I need
girls and boys, junior varsity. We have things that we didn't have back in the day. Golf, the coach Poston is doing a wonderful job with that. We need to get out and support his efforts. Volleyball, some outstanding volleyball players that come through this. So we have a lot to offer, and our children, our students need to see us out there. And I think and encourage them obviously to be just as good in the classroom as they are on the court in the field. That's what
And I'm not the only Andrews High School graduate that owns a camera. So somebody else, man, pick that camera up and get some of these games. I can't be everywhere all the time. I wish I could be, but pick that camera up. I promise you, these kids are not going to be, it's not perfectly, the white balance is off, or you know what I mean. So don't get over yourself. Take a clear photo. You know what I mean. Do whatever research you need to do to have to shoot the best you can. YouTube University works for me. And help me out with this. Let's because again, I know some of you guys bought some of them nice cameras, and if you got a camera you want to donate that I can teach a young person how to do this, because that's the ultimate thing, is to have these students doing it themselves. So if you got a camera you would like to donate to a young person so that they can get into this, you know what I mean? And well, I don't know, whatever camera you donate, that's the best camera we can have. All right, that's how I look at that. So, but yeah. All right. Also, man, I see you tapping in with when I was talking to old brother Middleton, man.
That's my guy. Him. Yeah. Two-time Andrews Heritage Festival winner of that contest, 19, and this past festival, some of the best barbecue. And you heard his menu. You see some of it there. Get out and see him. As you said, he's right now getting himself established at the old Subway location at the Exxon, which is now the place where he's set up, and I think will be in full operation come January.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not just that, it's the give back program that he have, and you're talking about Middleton's Village to Village, and he is truly believes in that concept because he has provided transportation for people across this country. He's nationally known now, and but it all started right here in Andrews in 2019 when he gave his first car away to people that does not have transportation and have to get to and from home, the doctor, that kind of business. So it's not just giving cars away. It's screened pretty closely, and I think we've hit the target here with those that have the 6 recipients that we've had here in the town. So go out and patronize him. He's always giving back. We had, I think in 19 as well, he gave one of the biggest Thanksgiving drive with all fresh produce, absolutely free. And that's kind of the where he launched his car donation or giveaway during that time, because several of the people that showed up there didn't, actually ran out of food. I think he fed about 250 families, ran out. And as he was speaking with them, he learned that many of them who didn't get any food actually walked up there, and that inspired him to him with his background, his father background of being mechanics. So he get cars donated, fix them up, get them in great shape. And he and I would talk. He said, okay, who's in need of transportation? We'll do the search and come up with the most qualified candidate. And we surprise them. And we go out wherever they are, or have them come to a place and give them a big surprise. And this thing, like I said, again, is nationally known now. He's been on every TV show, news show, talking about his generosity. And it's incredible. So he's a good young man and a great heart.
Yeah, I again, I've only talked to him briefly, so I look forward to sitting down with him and having an extended conversation, because again, those type folks need to be highlighted, and he loves Andrews, so that don't hurt at all.
No, we welcome him with open arms, man. Great guy, Elliot Middleton.
All right, so boom, the election. Let's go ahead and hop right into this politics thing here right now. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead.
First of all, you don't notice all. I'm typically in black and gold.
Oh, I was about to tell you, man, if you could take your camera and tilt it down just a little bit the other way.
This one.
Yeah, boom, right there, right. Oh, right there.
Is that good?
Oh man, that's manhood right there, man. That's matter of fact, put down just a little bit more. We want them to see it clearly. All right, there you go.
Hey, Hey, that's one of the principles of this organization, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, the best fraternity in the world. We were celebrating our 112th anniversary this November 17th. This organization was founded at Howard University in 1911 on a Friday night. A lot of history behind that, but what it did is men of like ideas, collegiate level men of like ideas came together, formed this organization. And for 112 years, we've been in the communities, working and serving those that, and again, when we talk about manhood, I think that's self-explanatory. Scholarship. We're about scholarship, teaching you, giving kids opportunity to learn. We give scholarships away during this time of year when we have our Founders Day program, and uplift. So if you're not lifting as you climb, if we're not bringing people along as we grow and become professionals, then why are we here? So we're about serving the community, uplifting folks, and persevering through all things. We know it's not going to be easy. We know it's going to be tough, but we see it through. So if you know that poem, go and recite that or learn that, because nothing is going to be easy. This campaign wasn't easy, but we persevered and saw it through. So this organization has taught me a lot. It's been a major part of my life. I entered the organization in 1985 at Benedict College. Again, the platform, for a lot of things that made me or shape who I am. From the military to this organization and other things. So I'm very excited about the celebration, which will be this Friday. So you'll see purple and gold all over the place. I'll suspend my black and gold for a while, so we can talk about Omega. So if you don't know about it, go read about it. People see you out there like you guys tried to get me to hop the other night. I'm a little bit too old for that, a little bit too fat, so I don't have a whole lot of wind. But it's a celebration. That's how we celebrate. So for those who don't know and say, "Oh, the mayor out there acting crazy," no, it's not acting crazy. We're celebrating. We had a lot to, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that, but we had a lot to celebrate. And that little small move I made, it was all about Omega Psi Phi. So shout out to the brothers and all the brothers of Omega Psi Phi across
no
the
doubt.
world.
I'm friends with, I don't know how this happened, but I'm friends with a lot of y'all. I'm talking about from all different walks, and then you figure out it's just like, okay, all right, I get it. So
there's an edge. There's an edge to us, There's an edge.
And that's the part that, you know what I mean. Like I said, it was like, oh yeah, if you would have came across, yeah, this you definitely would have had to be nothing else.
Nothing else could hold you down, man. Nothing else can hold you down. We'd have to have you in the fraternity, man, in the right one. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of great friends out there that are Sigmas, Alphas, Kappas. I haven't met any Iotas. That was, it wasn't on the campus when we were there, but I'm sure there's some great young men out there. But again, it's men of like ideas coming together, man, to make a difference in people's life. That's just to sum that up. And hundreds of thousands of us out there doing great things in key leadership positions. Secretary of Defense of this country is an Omega. Okay, so I'm just letting you know it is a good thing, in spite of what you may have heard.
Yeah, because listen. I mean, and speaking of this campaign, let's get into this campaign and how that played out, man. Because this showed a lot. It exposed a lot in Andrews.
Yeah, good, the bad, and the ugly. But let me start off by thanking my team. Had a very aggressive team that went out and worked to tell the story, to tell those things that were not seen, not heard, in terms of what we've been doing for the last 8 years, and helping people understand that we're on a path that is going to make Andrews a better place, improve the quality of life. And so I just had an awesome team. You didn't see them much, but they were out there operating. I am also thankful for the young people that were inspired to come out and vote. I'm thankful and encouraged by the kids, because the next day I went to the elementary school to be a part of the veterans program, and the kids, they recognized me. They were all saying the ones that knew was congratulations. So that inspired me. When I say this is about people, not politics, a lot of my time is going to be spent with those kids, because it's important to be with them, to talk to them about this, because as during the interview the other night, Shakira asked me about the mayor and politics when I was growing up. I had no clue. I only knew about Mayor Hazelden during that time is when his son and his wife started working at the school. And that's too late.
Hey, I didn't hear about it until somebody was saying, "Go vote, vote." What are you talking about?
Yeah,
yeah. And it's like, he running for the mayor of what? We got a mayor?
Yeah, and so it shouldn't be that way. So we're going to have to be active. My first term, I spent a lot of time because I came in, I started helping Coach Poston, assisting him with coaching. He didn't need any assistance, but because he's that good. But it helped me with the integrating. I love sports. I think it was the foundation that established our social interaction and people understanding and appreciating someone that doesn't look like you or not as tall as you, but you're out there on that ball field, you're playing and you're competing together to win to beat the other team. And so I encourage folks, let your kids play sports. I guarantee you a lot of these things that I know, and the good, the bad we were talking about that came out of this election, there is a racial element of this thing that we're going to have to address.
Mm-hmm.
When we didn't, if it was in this town, back when I was coming up, we didn't see it. Now I know, again, you're going to have disagreements and you're going to have people that, politically separated. But where we are right now was not Andrews or our parents kept that from us. And I know that I just didn't hang out in my neighborhood, which was predominantly African American. Some of my best friends that I played ball with, all of us, we didn't see that. We have a challenge right now, and we're going to have to address that. Not necessarily, it's not something the government has to fix. It's the individual. We have
just
to
a job for them. How many churches we got in Andrews?
We have 20, somewhere between 24 and 29. Now I heard 29 late. Now when I came, it was 24, and maybe there were that many when I was coming up, but most of those ministers were from Andrews, and so they were all involved in everything that went on in Andrews. So if there was an issue with a kid, the pastors were all involved, and so that dynamic has changed
drastically.
Okay, so we are a faith-based community. In my opinion, that's how we grew. I know in my family, we grew up in the church. Whether you want to go to church or not, you were in there Sunday. And so you learn, you understand. That's why I don't play with God. And so then, but that carried over into the school, that carried over into on the ball field, and they taught you love for everyone. That's what this whole thing is all about. We don't. That's not the nucleus right now of where we are. And I believe, not a pastor, but I believe the church has a role in uniting or helping to unite. It's not the government is not. The government has, it runs the operation of the town. But we start talking families and churches. That's when we can help heal or help this thing come together. Now, how did that, and I just don't. We're not there right now.
And I think this also what also plays into this is the narrative from the national politics right now, and as we move into 2024, it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna ramp up. It's gonna be and national politics definitely is gonna go racial. So that's why it's important for us to have these conversations now and guard us, start guarding ourselves against this, because you watching a bunch of different stuff and you start thinking that, oh well, that's what's affecting me. You know what I mean? Like I hear a lot about illegal immigration. Well, right now, directly in Andrews, that's not a big issue for, you know what I mean? So I don't get bogged down in that. And what I'm saying is that focus on what Andrews and Georgetown County has enough issues. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right. And it'd be great if the churches really, if these leaders, these pastors, they call themselves leaders, think about what's being said here. Okay, don't think about the messenger. All right, think about what's the messengers. Think about what's being said. It is incumbent upon you guys to start this heal, or to really foster communication across the board.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where we got it from. Again, it starts at home. So we can't let we as parents can't be let off the hook. Okay. We're going to have to address those things. If your child is too young to be held accountable for their conduct out in the school or in the street, then it's the parents. You have to do that, because if I'm, as an individual, can't be held accountable for the decisions I make because I'm not of age, then that has to fall back on somebody, and that's the parent. So whether we think we're doing all that we can to provide a safe environment for our kids, we got to step back and just reassess it. Because if your child is always a part or around something, then it's probably something that needs to change, something that needs to be adjusted. Because it's not the teacher's responsibility to discipline and give you that home school, that home training, if you will. I will tell you, the deal. Back in the day, if I went to school acting up, the teachers wouldn't have to worry about me or the principal, because my mother and father, well, especially my mom, God bless her soul, she'd take care of that. She didn't go to the school and jump on, and unless we were mistreated, and that didn't happen often back then. But we have to understand, don't get defensive about it. It's just that, see what's going on. If your child is involved in some things that, just repeatedly, I can see one time maybe they're in the wrong place, wrong time. But if they're always there, then we need to see what's going on. What is my child's, pattern of life? That's a military thing. What does he or she do all the time? That's the pattern of life. Where are they always when I'm not there? And kind of make some adjustments, because bad things happen when you're constantly in a bad environment. And so I say that because I'm a parent too. I'm talking to myself as well. So we have to provide and make sure that our children are in the right place, doing the right thing. Because when you get to the school, the teacher's job is to teach them, educate them, give them that knowledge so they can be successful. But if they haven't to try to discipline them, then when are they going to get the education that they need to be an upstanding, productive citizen? So we all have a role in the development and the protection of our children, to include us as a government. I know we talk a lot about law enforcement and where it is, not just here across the country. Those guys and girls are working hard, but they can't be in every place all the time. And again, they can't provide. We have to provide that protection locally. And understanding that really when cases are solved, when there's evidence and people who are willing to tell what happened, because generally there's someone always there to see what's happening, but we have to have the courage to step forward and so these things can be brought to justice and handled properly. We don't have that right now. And again, that feeds back to to some of the challenges we have, not just here, but abroad. And we just have to do better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's two men that was just murdered in the streets of Andrews right there, and nobody has stepped forward. The police station is still open. Chief is still there. So until somebody steps forward and has some courage, the family's still suffering.
Yeah. So, but we have to do that, and that's and because you can't. There's no judge is going to accept a case without the proper evidence. If you cannot, and that's your constitutional right. If you can't prove it,
everybody's seen enough court cases to know hearsay doesn't hold up in court.
You got to be willing again to face your accuser, and lay it out on the line and have the evidence that brings justice to this thing, and give the victims some relief from this these horrible, tragic situations. So that's our role as citizens. I mean, we have to do that. We have to do that.
No doubt. And let's, so right along that line of law enforcement right there. Today, I made a comment on about because I've been getting a bunch of calls, and inboxes about Georgetown County being a little more aggressive now. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. I don't. My thing is have your paperwork and everything in order, and that'll pretty much take care of that'll take care of that. But I made the comment to that they should ask the folks at Spiritfield, and Brother Daryl Moy from Spiritfield, he commented and said that I was putting out bad information, and and I'm gonna have to disagree with him on now I may have said some things that were a little off the cuff a little bit, but I did not put out bad information. In fact, here's the point that I was making, because this took place during the campaign, and this is why I'm bringing this up, because what this was, and so here, what you guys are looking at, they had a listening session at Spirit-Filled Ambassadors for Christ. Nowhere in here does it say anything about the town of Andrews, the chief of police, right? Not anywhere on this thing here. And they had about 2 or 3 different variations of it because they edited it for whatever reason. But and this was in the middle, like a week before the election, right? And although Chief wasn't invited, they were there, okay? And I encourage anybody to go back and listen to that recording. I think you can find it on Gab News. But my point is that, and I'm not suggesting that Sheriff Carter Weaver is doing anything extra to the people of Andrews. I do not believe that's the case, right? But my smart comment was the fact that, again, we talk about what's going on in the town of Andrews. I thought, and I'm not attacking the church, okay? So again, they that took place there, and what I said was right and exact. And what they should have been talking to me about, questioning me about, is that 20 band man stuff I'm talking about. That I'm willing to talk about that. I'll bring you on the show and we can have a long conversation about the 20 grand. But let's stick to this. And my point and where I'm getting at with this is that, because a lot was said during the campaign, right? And this was the crowd at Spirit-Filled that night. This was the makeup of the crowd, right? And these are screenshots taken from the actual video, okay? And all of these people in here, this is that small minority of people that's complaining. And you know what? I'm gonna give the sheriff even more credit, because he told them at one point, the gentleman in the white shirt beside the guy with the microphone, he was like, I don't even know who the chief is. I never seen the chief. And at that point, Sheriff Carter Weaver introduced Chief Cockrell, who is in the back here. Again, that's Chief you see in the back there on that back wall. Okay. They were not invited. Okay. Now, nobody can deny that. Right. And my position is, if you're concerned about getting something done in the town of Andrews, you damn well better be working with the law enforcement in the town and not trying to show them up. Now, again, to Sheriff Carter Weaver's credit, he didn't fall into that trap. But I got long with that. I just wanted to express that. But any comments?
I couldn't make that that event. We were at a session with Governor McMaster, and so
were you invited?
No. We learned about this. I think they saw the flyer on Facebook, and I reached out to the chief, and he wasn't aware, but he made it clear that he would be there. and it was my intentions too, but not necessarily because again, it's a law. It was a law enforcement discussion, and so I felt comfortable. He could have, he's well qualified to have those conversations, but no, we weren't aware of it. I think, but again, credit to the sheriff. It was well done, and I think he made it clear to what his roles and responsibility as it pertains to the entire county, and the work that they're doing in conjunction with our police department, and in terms of I think you made a comment about the number of cars or county deputies that were here. I think the thing is that we all again have to take responsibility. There is a lot of fast driving. There's a lot of speeding, which is unsafe because of the kids. We have almost 2,000 children that go to school in Andrews at any given time. Many of them are walk to school. So if we don't take that in consideration and slow down and follow the traffic laws, then you can expect to see an increase in officers to curtail that, because they look at the numbers. There's numbers of speeding. We go to court and there's traffic. A lot of it is all traffic. We have to slow it down. Again, it's back to responsibility of the individual, and that's where it's about public safety. And I appreciate the concern from the citizen. I mean, that's and when the citizen call for assistance and they come out, then that's what it is. And I think you gave some good advice today. We got to make sure that we're doing the right thing at all time, and slow it down. And there won't be any tickets. And if there's any wrongdoing, those folks will be dealt with if they're overexerting themselves. But we do have a speeding problem. We have a loud truck problem. We have a dark tint window problem. These squat trucks now, which the law is now that those are forbidden. So hopefully the owners of those type vehicles will now correct that, because it's unsafe. You can't see necessarily over the top. And again, if we got to have a lot of pedestrian traffic, then you're subject to hit someone and not know it. So it's a lot of things that if we do the self-correction, we won't have to. Then that'll cut down, I think, on a lot of the law enforcement concerns. But no, we wasn't aware of the meeting.
No, and again, if there's increased presence, good. Ain't that what everybody asks for? Follow the law, and there won't be no problems. I mean, that's it's simple.
Yeah, that's the solution to concerns about. I know, because I've seen someone recently, post about the. I think we haven't had one, but they have the license and insurance checks and stuff like that, or these checkpoints. You'd be amazed to know how many people are driving without license or insurance. And so, and if there is an accident, then whoever the victim is, they're not going to be able to be compensated because they don't have that. And then there's a reason why you don't have a license. And so you should not be on the road, period. And so there's checkpoints out there is for a reason, because there's been an increase in accidents and unlicensed people. So there's a cause, there's a cause and effect, and there's got to be a resolution for these things. That's just life.
That's called civilization. Civilized society. Is there a stoplight coming?
It's an energy drink.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say check that in. Well, this ain't an energy drink, and it's not coffee. So
I only drink coffee. Yeah. What was that? What was the question?
The question is there a stoplight coming to Ebenezer?
No, that's one of about 5 things that I've been battling for a long time to try to get a change to it. There's been some traffic control measures added to that area, but it's not enough. That's a unique intersection. It's just not noticeable by strangers coming through, and they drive, especially from the north, traffic that goes north and south.
Watch
so right
the
now,
car.
there's no solution.
I watched the car drive through literally in front of me the other day. What day was that? It had to be Saturday.
But we're going to continue the push
straight through the light.
Yeah, there's got to be something that is above ground that they can see from afar, because when they're coming from the north to south, they've generated enough speed, and there's not enough sign. In fact, when I drive,
road strip,
something that's simple. We can't convince them. We haven't been able to convince them to do that. And
we should probably do. I don't know if we get locked up for this. I'm not suggesting you or the town do this, but I'm thinking about a band of citizens. We go out there and cut some divots in the no. I mean, it'd be the right thing to do, and you get in trouble for doing what as far as public safety would be the right thing to do. You get up in trouble for it. But
yeah, the rumble strips are, I think, are excellent. It's to me, it's inexpensive, but allegedly they come out and they do these studies, and I haven't, and the outcome is that there hasn't been enough accidents or death, and I know that it's been a ton since I've been back home.
And there's and they say they do these studies, and the next time I'm in a community that has, I'm talking about inside a community, not on 41, you know what I mean, not a heavily traveled road like that, and they got them inside the neighborhoods. So, and this is in South Carolina.
Like that one out in Jamestown. That's all we need. Something elevated, because you have big trucks. Big trucks run through there. I've seen it on the footage that we the video footage that we get from the fuel depot. Big trucks, small ones, SUVs. A lot of them zip right through. Yeah, I don't know if it's a twilight zone or what. I don't know.
So let me ask you, what did you learn from this election cycle?
Oh man, being the third one, this one was it was awful.
Why so? Why? What do you mean it was awful?
I think some of the things that were said. Again, when you're talking about a community that needs healing, none of that stuff. It's in the Facebook. We got social media now that allow people to say what they want to, because they're what you probably wouldn't say in the presence of someone, but it's just not necessary. It could have been a much cleaner, but again, not necessarily from the candidates as much, but it was the citizens going back and forth, and the other thing the thing that stressed me out a lot was the fact that I know where we are. I know what it takes to manage this town, because we're coming from a long ways of neglect, if you will, or not just getting things done in terms of maintaining our systems, which is the bread and butter of the town. And I know what we put in place, and so to transition at this time would have been very, very challenging. I didn't, again, knowing what the challenges are, knowing what it just would not have been. It would have been catastrophic. I'm not saying that I'm the only one that can manage what's happening, but I know where it came from. I know where we came from. I know what we have in place, and with the vision to move it forward. And so to see that not continue, or the possibility of it collapsing, was a little bit nerve wracking. But we had the right team out there to convince enough people that we needed to continue on, and that's what we're doing. That's what we and it was a distraction, because a lot of these things we're trying to move forward now. For the last several months, we're at the execution piece right now, putting the contracts in place, and that would have been severely disturbed had we change out. And not, and then of course you just the speculation when you have, and that generally happens. It's nothing new, but when you have new leadership come in, they wipe the slate clean with all the people, all the institutional knowledge would be potentially gone if that happens. And again, any leader that comes in, they want to have people they can trust and go. But if you don't know this system, this Andrews don't have a blueprint, if you will. That's being developed as we correct these mistakes. Not the mistakes, but correct and learn the system, those things will be laying out. Right now, we have maps for both the water and sewer system underground, and we're doing smoke tests to see where the breaks are in the system or in the pipes. We've done a study to kind of lay out where the flooding situation. So we have all those pieces in place, and it's a lot of knowledge that you just can't transfer over to a new administration. And so those things was kind of nerve wracking to think of what could have possibly happened. And again, probably could have come in and continue the mission, but that's not how it generally happens if you don't have a blueprint for what the system looks like. And it's just been a lot. I had to really restrain myself from responding to a lot of things, being personal attacks, all the other things. But that's the environment. Like you said, a lot of this stuff kind of trickles down from the national level, and they think it's okay to do that. Here, no, those folks go back, and they're not. This is where the rubber meets the road at the municipality level. What I mean by that is you interact with people daily, whether you go to church, grocery stores, or where. And so when you have these kinds of personal, unprofessional, whatever go on, it strains the relationship. Who can you trust? And then people who you thought you can trust, and that was moving, helping along, or that you assume was on board with moving Andrews forward, and they're not there for one reason or another. Then you're like, okay, what's really going on? Not everybody is on board with you. Not everybody that shakes your hand or say you're doing a good job is not. It's not there. And so you have to make that adjustment and keep going and doing what you know is right.
Have you had a conversation with Baber yet?
No.
Wow. That says a lot.
Well, it's not uncommon. It's not like we were speaking every day.
No, but I mean, after that's just customary.
Well, I'll say this, because the night of the election, I was already committed to bringing greetings to the Jerusalem Association, which had their annual conference here at the Jerusalem Center, and so that was at 7:00. And so typically, so then I had to leave early, obviously, to get prepared for that and go there. So when the results of the election was posted, I wasn't there. And so he did call me, but I was inside of the church. And
okay.
Yeah. And I sent him, a note and said, I'm sorry, I can't answer. I'm inside. I'm at the church. Said, okay, but that was it. And, but, even before all of this, we get occasional text messages, encouragement, words of encouragement. And if there's something that wanted me to be a part of, he would reach out. But that was kind of, which is the sunrise service and other things, a couple other things that he was, kind of cheering up, that he would send me a note. But that's kind of where we were.
I can imagine not having no political experience. He's pretty not upset, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty much kind of want to be done with this stuff, because I was pretty rough on him. But
I'm sure everybody involved in this thing here is right now trying to reset, because there was a lot of emotion involved, I think, and with everyone. I mean, we had people coming from Big Dam and Crossroad, and wanting to be a part of the election, in terms of voting. They wanted to vote, and we learned a lot. Well, if you're not inside of this little bubble of Andrews, you can't vote. If you're on the south side of Myrtle or the north side of Gapway, and so people, we learn a lot about the boundaries. And I think we're going to have some further conversation with people who now see the need to be a part of the solution when you're electing the people and entrusting them to manage your town. And so,
yeah, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned that elections are dangerous. I learned that the voter. The voter is a lot. Most voters don't understand the power that they possess, and because and I'll share this with you. Like as I was talking to people, and people and folks that be like, "Oh no, I'm not voting for Mayor McCleary," and we have this conversation, and what I learned from a lot of the folks who were saying, "No, I'm not going to support him," they didn't know anything about Dean Baber, or I mean, for the most part, they didn't know anything about either candidate. But they one person in particular, they voted for you the first two times, and could not, and it was like, okay, well, what has he done? And so as I'm laying this out, it's just none of it's resonating, and so I learned that people vote a lot on emotion, and this has been this is not it's not anything new, but to see it, because from where I'm sitting at, you got a person that's qualified, and then you got a person that's not qualified, and the fact that this person's not qualified does not even resonate with people, and so yeah, elections are dangerous in my opinion.
And again, I refrain from judging and or saying what someone can and cannot, but that's common. What you just said is common. But what I do know, what I've learned, because you're right. There's some who voted in the past for me, and some didn't because for whatever reason. What I learned is we're gonna have to figure out how to show your work. So a lot of the work we did with Jay in creating these what do we call them? I guess campaign messages.
Campaign ads for
campaign ad. Those things that capture 8 years of so, and I don't think they have a lot of understanding of how bad things were, or still is in some instances, in terms of the system. That is the foundation. Your water and sewer, that's what generates the revenue for this town. We, unlike, we don't sell energy or power like Georgetown has. It's just the water and sewer and the tax dollars. So those things, those money that are generated, that takes care of, should go back into the system for maintenance and upgrade, and also pay the salaries for the men and women who are out working, who are doing the job. And if that's not fixed, if that money is wasted on bad parts of the system, or having to go to DHEC for fines, and DHEC, when they fine you, it's $10,000. Unfortunately, we haven't had that situation because, again, people have worked very hard to try to, and so that level of work is not seen. So, and a lot of times, if we can't see it, feel it, touch it, it's not happening. But from where I sat, I know that is the most critical part of it, and it takes a while. And I think we all realize that it ain't going to happen overnight. So we had to focus on those things that is really that created a potential public safety hazard, and so you have to address. So it's a lot of those things. Then you have simultaneously you have to now generate revenue to pay qualified people to come in and do that. So they don't see it. So when people say, well, he hadn't done this, and the roads and yeah, we own, if we have to repair a pipe in the road, and that whatever happens and it creates a divot in the road, that is our responsibility. But the roads generally are owned by South Carolina Department of Transportation. So when we all learn who has responsibility for the key things in your town, you wouldn't put it all back on your local government.
The money, the revenue generated from the water bill, does your salary come from that water money, and the council salary come from that money?
No, You call it a salary, huh? That's funny. Um, so the stipends that
Stifle. Okay.
the stipends that goes to the elected officials actually come from the general funds.
Okay.
Water and sewer money have to go to only to those employees and to the upkeep
Of the system.
of the system. That's
Gotcha.
by law. You can't
Gotcha.
use that for anything else. Now, because we haven't raised the rates over the a lot of years, we don't generate enough money in water and sewer to maintain it, so that we have to pull sometime in the neighborhood of $150,000, $200,000 from the general fund to maintain the water and sewer system. And the general funds pay for the police department, the staff. Those are not everybody that's not involved or part of the water and sewer department. And then so that's taxes and all that stuff that generates that.
Has Councilman Ulrich, if you know, reached out to the town about the water bills lately? Because the reason I'm asking is because Town Councilman Robert Ulrich was on Facebook, and he was made a post about the water bills. Has anybody seen a water bill in this in anytime soon? So let's talk water bills. Has he reached out to the town, the councilman?
Well, if anything that comes in, it should go in through work order down to the folks who manage that. I haven't specifically asked that question. I know it's out there on Facebook, but there's protocol, and if you're a part of the town or a part of the administration or the elected body, you know where to go to get that answer. If it's not reported, those kind of things. But in terms of the water bill, again, it is a part of the system. It's a very complex system. I wish this thing would have been resolved a long time ago. But again, we got smart people in there figuring out. You have over 1,600, I got the numbers there, 1,635 meters. The system is very complicated. And I don't want to bore anybody tonight, but until that gets sorted out, and it ain't like you got, because we have the money, you can automatically change it. No, that stuff have to be contracted. So every one of those meters that having a problem, and I think we're down to 141, it has to be examined for the multitude of things that could be wrong. That's not giving you an accurate reading. So if we send bills out that doesn't have an accurate reading, then you're going to have the same problem. People are going to be upset. So let us fix that. But the key thing is that your water services has not been affected. You've had water. Give us time to get this thing done. So it's not the bill. I think the bill became a political, point, but it ain't the bill. It's the service. You're getting the service until we get this ironed out. And even when we send the bill out, I think the last time you paid less than 50% of the water that you use. So my obligation is to make sure that your service is not interrupted while we address the issues with the entire system. This system has been in place since 1984. It's not just the water. The meters. You got to have the right people in place, and we do have those folks. They are doing the groundwork to figure out what it is for each individual meter, 1,635, and for the most part, they're all done. And it'll be done. But make sure. The thing is that no one has come to me and say, "Hey,
what could the citizen do? What's the town's recommendation that the citizen do when they don't receive a bill?
Like the majority of them right now. And in the past, people come and pay on it. They know what their average, what they use, and they'll come and pay on it. And if once this thing is reset and there's a credit, they get credit. So we don't have a bunch of people that's coming in complaining. Many of them are paying. Many of them are paying because they just good steward and understand that they're getting the service. They know a bill is coming, and they come and pay it. It's that simple. It's a small percentage, but
so why? I'm just trying to figure out and I can show you a lot of that small percentage again. They were all.
I don't know.
They were all.
I don't know.
Tucked away in there. I've seen these people here. Trust me, I can name them at this point, right? We can go through here and we can just, you know what I mean? And I
I think the thing is that, and again, a part of the political strategy was to, hey, just read the meter. If it was that simple, the meters would have been read. They are being read and corrected. It's a time-consuming thing. You can't. If I ask you to come out and help me with this, you wouldn't know where to start because that's not what you do. You don't know the mechanics. I mean, I know enough now because I've been around with it, but we've got some really smart people on the ground and getting this thing sorted out. So when this bill is released this week, we'll be back, on a normal platform. There's still going to be issues to work out with the eaches. Okay.
So it's safe to say that the people who did not pay their bills along the way are going to get a bill that reflects that.
They will also get, again, like we were very lenient on the previous bill. This one will also have a reduction, and they're not going to be full charge, same thing, and they'll be just fine. But what they panic over is, I think it was $411 over 6 months. You break that down, you're paying probably $60 or less than $60
for services that
over 6 months. Yeah. So, and I know the sticker shock when you see that, but again, if we're being,
honest with ourselves,
that you haven't paid in 6 months, it should be a lot higher than what you receive. And so I ask people just let's be honest, let's be patient, and know that, again, the key thing is that your services will not be interrupted until the system is corrected.
How can the town afford this?
Oh, well, because we applied a lot of sound business practices over time, and you have to, again, being able to see and understand that when you own these systems, if something goes wrong like this, or if you have 2 or 3 or two lift stations go down, that's going to cost you a ton of money. So you have to make sure that you are applying or managing the budget, your limited budget, carefully. And so if you hit where there's an emergency situation, you have funds available. So yeah, so bills are paid. So we do have money there to cover the bills like we always have, because we have done the right thing over time. Now, had we not, and this kind of situation happened, we certainly would not be able to pay our bills. So we're fine. We're doing just fine. And again, now we can't continue this. Don't get me wrong. It's not something I enjoy doing. It's just where we are. And that's a part of the challenge. And I say again, had we had a whole bunch of changes, they wouldn't have known where to start with this thing. And if you just start, they wouldn't have known where to start.
They would start by blaming you. Oh, you didn't messed it up.
Well, that's fine. But I know I haven't been here for 40 years, and I know this problem started 35, 40 years ago.
No doubt.
So, but again, that's the nature of the this political world we're in, that somebody's going to get blamed. The way I was, trained and brought up, if you're at the head of the table, you're responsible for everything that happened or failed to happen. And so that's why one of the things I've learned through this is to figure out how to communicate with those who are not listening. How do you get them to see where we are, how the town is moving, whether it's whether it's a situation like this coming up, or we get ready to have a big economic boom. They have to pay attention to what's going on. And I think what has happened during this election period is that a lot of people started to pay attention and to see what's really going on or not. Mm-hmm. Is what are we completely out of the weeds? No. That's why we have to keep our hands on the controls every day and making decisions, split second, not necessarily split second, but there's decisions to be made every day. And when you're talking about a business that have these very expensive system, you're not making decisions that's going to, $200 or $300 decision. You're talking tens, sometimes, thousands of dollars on what direction are we going. And you can't be absent from the staff and make those decisions and have the wherewithal and have all the knowledge to make the most sound decision. You can't do that being away. And so it requires a lot of time and sacrifices, and that's my commitment to the town.
No doubt. So, and I mean, how did you reset? You know, I know you said you took time away after this process.
I stayed out. I didn't go back. Monday was the first day I went back in since the election. So I was exhausted. The work that we did behind the scene to prepare these messages and those kind of things.
A lot of late nights. I listen. I am not interested in like that's a grueling process when you're dealing with trying to get a message, like you say, trying to compact 8 years into 30 seconds and then to make it stick.
Yeah, because I found myself having to sit there and I was very, very helpful. Mayor Pro Tem, who's an excellent record keeper. So he tracks all of the things that go on because he's been here for a long time and he know what we didn't have and what has happened since over the last 8 years. He kept very detailed records. So I took those things and began to track it down because I'm not one to brag about things. I like just do the job. Let's keep moving because there's more work to be done. But now again, I've learned that you have to share all of these things that sometimes in great detail. So the confidence of the people is where it needs to be to say, okay, this guy or this administration is on par. It just didn't. I thought they would see it, but as I talked before, your pattern of life, if you are a person that goes from work back home or church back home or to the store, then you're not going to see what's happening on the south side of town. I bet you a lot of people haven't been over there to Oneida in a long. I mean, if they're honest with themselves, when was the last time you've been over to Oneida? Since Oneida, closed many years ago, in the late 1990s or 2000. But yeah, well, you're pretty quick with that. But they'll see now it's a thriving piece of property over there with businesses all over the place. There were 2 businesses there that I wasn't aware of and coming in. And so we have to get out, drive around. Now, one of the things I'm thinking about, because I'm working on this communication thing, because again, that we were very deficient in letting people know what we were doing. And so it's got to be tours. It's got to be something that says, come out, do this. I'm thinking about a scavenger. Have you ever been a part of a scavenger hunt?
No, I haven't.
Oh, those are pretty good things, and we did them in the military, civilian life. And really what it is, your teams come together. It's very interactive, involved things. And people come together, you have a map and you said, okay, there's whatever the prize is, but you have a map and a list of things you got to go and find. And what it will do is get you exposed to what else is happening around the town. So we're going to have this scavenger hunt kind of thing, and those who want to come out and participate. But the whole idea is to get you out to interact with one another, and to see that when if you got a point on your map that says you need to go to Oneida and find Maya Tech, and there's somebody there that's going to be there with a gift card or something that says, yep, this team came here. But what will happen is that you will learn that there's something here, there's something going on in your town. It'll get you out of your normal pattern of life. It'll get you exposed. And so we're working on a number of things that's going to get us out. We're going to ask the churches to, take your congregation around, like the preserve. We still have a large part of our community don't know that the Cypress Preserve is out there.
Exist.
And it's a beautiful, it's 2 miles outside of the city limits. And it's a beautiful place to go and relax and walk and just enjoy nature. But we have to come out of our comfort zone and go do these things and appreciate that. And I know you will be inspired to be a part of the growth. And but you can't do that if you don't broaden your horizon.
So what would be? Okay, this is Mayor Frank's message to the citizen of Andrews. What would be your call to what would you like to see the citizens do more of on the side of the citizens towards the town? What would you like to see?
It's got to trust the process and know that I'm here for what's right. I absolutely love this town because there's not a lot we can get them involved. I mean, unless, other than the community activities like Mrs. Carla McKenzie is doing, she's taken on all of the community activities, the parades, Christmas parade, which is coming up here next month. I think it's the Makers on Main Street, which we bring out people who have, very talented people who have these craft, these expertise in whatever particular area. And you come out and be a part of it. It is a way to people to come out. So get involved in those kinds of things. We need to all of us take responsibility for our area where our homes are, clean them up, get rid of the old cars and those kind of things. So that's kind of the citizen. And then just pay attention to what's happening. We come and ask questions, but when we come at each other angry, see, one of the things that bothers me is that I think that we all believe that elected officials should be yelled at, called bad names, accused of, steal. That is not how we communicate. That is not how it is. If all that stuff, if I was, if there's some theft, there's people that's watching to see how this money is spent. But, I've been called a lot of things. I don't, just because that's your opinion, it's not, that's not who I am. But we get nowhere when we bash each other. So, from an individual perspective or family, let's try to be a little bit more involved on the positive side. There's a lot of, there's things you can do to help shape and that social media, that thing goes a long way. So the things we get out there and say and do on Facebook, other people are watching. I've talked to a lot of business people and they go there to see what and what I have to, kind of police up when I talk to them is that's a small segment of the town. There's a lot of great people here that want, whatever business you have to come here. And we're going to do our best, to open our arms and invite you in to do what you need to do because we need the resources. We're spending a lot of money outside of Andrews on food, beverages. And if we can get those places here, then that'll cut down a lot of the spending outside of the town. We have to come together. I mean, and you got to trust the process. And if there's any question, I'm capable of answering those things and showing you, where it's documented, and hopefully that'll be enough, and you can, trust that, and I'll keep doing what I'm supposed to do.
About town hall meeting this Thursday. I did not put that flyer up there. But yeah, town hall meeting this Thursday. That's a good place to start gathering information and expressing concerns. Because one thing that I noticed different about Andrews Town Hall as opposed to Georgetown County council meetings is that you get a response, not necessarily a dialogue a lot of times, but the setting is such that, usually after the meeting, somebody will come, usually Councilman Eddie Lee, especially if you got some kind of issue that he can do something about. So, come out and communicate. And if you got good ideas, please come out and share them.
Well, another good thing that came out of this is that now we have this group of young adults called the Andrews Change Agents are now coming together. They're a young man, Mr. Keem, who responded to a negative post on Facebook regarding to homeless. Now they have people coming together to help provide whatever comfort. It's getting cold. We don't have a shelter. We've never had a shelter. So something's got to be figured out at a level above us. How can we best take care of these people that not just homeless? You're talking with the addicts. I know that is not there's no easy solution for that. The government is not funded at this level, not funded for it. So, and then it's up to the individual whether they accept the help that's out there. There's plenty of facilities at the state level or federal level, but that individual have to be willing to go and accept that treatment. So it's a lot of work, but again, I appreciate these young folks that are stepping up and coming together to help make a difference there. I've gotten so many calls now from a lot of our citizens who've moved off and been living afar want to help. I welcome that. That's what it's going to take. And perhaps this ugliness that came out of this campaign now is going to turn for the good. And they know, I mean, I've fielded a ton of questions or offers and volunteers since this election. And I appreciate that. They want to know, Mayor, how can we help? Because they, you know, and again, it's not unfortunate, but it's interesting that the people that live away see the difference when they come home. But many of us that are sitting here would say, or some of us, not many, that nothing has happened. It's a little discouraging, but again, I appreciate those that are far and are willing to come back and they see it, and because it is hard work and you don't get compensated for it. Not that I'm looking for it. My compensation is to see this town grow. We're working with, as you saw, Ms. Simmons Salter the other night. We're really focused on this term on our young people. We got to give them opportunities to go abroad and see those things. And I've gotten 2 or 3 calls a day from them. They have already started working on this intern program that I want to have for this year. I want it by the end of the year. I want to be able to send at least 3 of our young high school graduates to an intern program in Washington, D.C. that is fully funded. That's my goal. And so I'm starting to reach out now to a lot of friends I have. I just didn't bother them because we weren't there yet. And now we're there. We need to make sure that our kids are, have an experience worldwide so they can see things and see what the opportunities are, because it's not all here. And so I have those resources. I'm going to leverage them. We're going to continue with these type shows so we can bring all these experts on to help us understand. Because I didn't know when she was talking about being a civilian in the U.S. Army through a different venue, that must have changed. Or I wasn't aware, when I was on active duty. But that is huge. That is huge.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest thing that I've been getting comments on. People have been saying to me, like, Miss Simma, man, make sure you bring her back.
She's ready.
Yeah, that was awesome. But like I've guys, there's a lot more to come. I was even recruiting students already now over in the Bloomingville area. Like, look, we need to get our top student over from wherever. And, because you're right, the intern programs, these are life-changing, things.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I was selected to do intern as a senior captain, and man, at the Pentagon, learned so much about the other side of my profession. The civilian side, the decisions that, those tough decisions that are made by these secretaries of, the services, the secretaries of other departments. Like, I worked for Secretary Dorn that had overall responsibility of this personnel and readiness for the entire Department of Defense. And to see the work that came out of there and the responsibility, that's a lot of my training. That's a lot of my exposure to those kind of things. So we get our kids. I mean, I was on a submarine. I didn't, down at that was a very small one too, which it confirmed that Navy was not my selection. You could have that. so, but that's the experience that you get when you get outside of your bubble.
Yeah.
And we want our kids to experience that now so they can have, options for their career path.
Absolutely. Positively. So, all right, so next town meeting, I'm trying to get that loaded up here, but I'll just share it on my page. I ain't even tripping on that.
This Thursday, 6 p.m.
Yep, Thursday, 6 p.m. Anything interesting? I mean, it's always interesting, but any new ordinances or anything that we should know about?
No, not now. We will. There's pretty out there that has to be enforced. And a part of this downtown master plan that I think everybody knows is out there now, and it's been out there for a while. But again, we learned a lot through this campaign. So we're now forming committees now to help us now develop these projects and get them moving. Like the ones for the main street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we talked before, we have funds that came in through Duke Energy, a grant from those guys. So we got somewhere in the neighborhood, I think about $60,000. We can begin to, address this Main Street, revitalization. We also looking, we talked to the staff today. We're going to be looking, or not today, earlier this week, looking at getting a street sweeper. Those things that we could not afford before. I think we're in a position now to at least get one that can clean the street, get some the flags up. We have the branding, the new branding that came out of this master plan, that we'll have those flags developed and they'll be permanently placed along Main Street. We're going to have some discussions about how do we as we move west along Main Street and Morgan, what do we do? So a lot of those ideas will come from, and these are refinements. So we do have the renderings, but we have to refine those plans, resource them, and get a contract to get them done. So that's the other part we can expect from the citizens.
No doubt. Hey, listen to this. I took it off the screen and I looked back at it and was like, whoa. And that's coming from Mr. Briggs. He said, my business can sponsor transportation and hotel for 3 kids you want to send to DC.
All right, Mr. Briggs, I got you, man. You're locked in now.
Yes, sir.
We definitely can use that, man. It's going to be about our best and brightest coming up. And we want to get them again when they go out and come back. They come back home with a wealth of knowledge that's going to help continue to move us forward. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that offer, and we'll certainly take advantage of it. I'll be up there. I'll be up in DC probably the next. I don't know if it's going to be. It may be next month, but I've got to pay a visit up there to the Pentagon. We're going to get this thing moving. You traveling?
Yeah, hey, let's roll, man. Hey, I'm ready to roll.
Hey, I've got to introduce you to some people up there, man.
All right. Thomas put some stipulations on that.
This guy loves Super Chick, man. You got to freeze some and ship it up to him.
No doubt. I'll put it in you got a container you can put it in. It'll hold it. It'll you got it, freeze it, dry ice, and send it up there.
Send it up to him, man. We'll take care of him. If that's what it's gonna take.
Or I tell you what, we could catch a flight, put it on the flight, because if they fly it up, you know what I mean, right into DC from Myrtle Beach, that's gonna be pretty quick. So yes, sir. Yeah, I love going to DC. I ate at this restaurant called what was it called? It was a brunch restaurant, and I was complaining because it was a little slow. You know what I mean? Oh man, I can't even remember the name of it. So, but it was awesome. So yeah, and
we're going to the wharf, man. We got to go down there where all that seafood is.
It's all good too, and I can go up there and get some stage time in, because I know Lawrence he'll be doing something somewhere in the DMV.
Okay,
I can go up there and talk about. I guess I can go talk about this campaign in a way that where nobody won't.
You want to offend anybody?
No, they'll be looking at me like, "Who's he talking about?"
Good luck.
Yeah, but man, listen, I think that'd probably be something good too, man. Let's throw a comedy show. You know what I mean? Let the people come out and let's get a laugh together real fast. Let's just come out and get your laugh on. I know who'd be down to do it. Sweet baby Keita, she's ready to come back to Andrew. She was like, "My man made me again."
That's what she said. Hey, like the movie night we did. I think that section. So we all these things, man. Again, I want to help these kids. We want to help our kids, and hopefully the adults will come along to give them something. So we have the equipment. We did it. We had a very successful movie night a few months ago. I think it was doing part of the Black History Month celebration.
Mm-hmm. And we getting ready to get back into that whole cycle. So people come on out, volunteer. When you hear about, just get involved. It makes it better for everybody.
Yeah. You gotta say, hey, just let down your guards, come on out. and let's just fellowship. That's
Yep.
what Andrews. It was a reason why Andrews was called the friendly town, because we were friendly back in the day. We're not as friendly as we should be right now, and we got to get back to that. That's just the bottom line.
Absolutely, positively.
So let's keep pushing, and appreciate the appreciate the airtime.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll be launching that coffee with the Colonel. I'm looking at. Well, we're gonna shoot a bunch of it, and then we're gonna have a launch date. So I'll be getting with you this week, and we'll start looking at guests and start lining up guests, because again we can do multiples in one day and then release it like that. But
yeah, I've got a couple of people lined up. The good friend of mine, fraternity brother, who is the head of the transportation operation in New York City, another retired colonel. In fact, they were twins, and we will get him on board, because I saw him on LinkedIn today. He was advertising job openings, and so I shot him a note and asked him if there's any opportunity for interns, because again, transportation is huge, not just trucking, all forms of it. And if you can get some insight from New York City on how to move products and move people.
Man, South Carolina State dropped the ball on that. I'm going to just go ahead and put that out there. That Clyburn Transportation Center should have been up years and years ago. And you look, all of these fulfillment centers we sat right here by the interstate, you know what I mean? And so you're right. I definitely want to talk to him, because that's another career field that is huge.
The DOD contracts. Yeah, I want to shout out to Miss Peggy. She does love the kids, and I tell you, she gave during the Halloween Main Street Halloween event. She gave me what I thought was too much toys, and man, the kids, those things were gone in no time. They absolutely loved it. They were lined up getting the toys. So I think she has plenty more. We just couldn't take them all that day, but we now know, and perhaps Miss Peggy, we can get some of those for
a toy this Christmas. Start,
because one thing I'm going to
for that.
I have two appreciation events for my campaign staff. We'll do a dinner, and then we're going to do something during the parade. So we'll have over my property out here on Main Street, we'll have an area set up that we could use some of these toys. We also have the angel tree going on right now, being established at the town hall. But this will be a separate event, just to show some appreciation for those who got involved in the political process the right way, and we'll just just a little give back to and fellowship for the citizens. Not and then I'll take my campaign team to another spot so we can have a good time.
No doubt. Hey, listen, I want to shout out Miss Victoria Fisher. She follows me here on Welcome to the podcast. And she reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, she picked up some lights, because we're going to light up Jones Avenue again. I encourage anybody that wants to help, please come on out and help. We can use all the help. We were only able to get the 2 little pavilions lit last year. The goal is to, have some other things out there in that park. So if you have lights, or you would like to purchase lights, or you're able to purchase some lights, whatever color, if you can find solar power lights, that's great. But I just want to shout her out and thank her very much. And she says she's going to help us get this park together. We're going to start planning that out, because hopefully right after Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving weekend, it'll be good if we can light it, what I mean? Because that's the time when a lot of people, home for that time. So get it lit then, and then, carry that on through to, there's Ms. Fisher right there. Shout out to you. I appreciate it.
I haven't met her yet. I'd like to meet her. That's good. Thank you, ma'am, for volunteering and support. I saw someone, and again, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on Facebook, because all of it wasn't positive, but I did see Miss Victoria and some of the positive things she's been saying. They keep the temperature down, and that's what we need in each and every one of us. So hopefully I get to meet her soon.
No doubt.
And if she comes out to help us in
maybe if she's in town hall meeting Thursday, Thursday. You know
And
my son Tyler. She said you know her son Tyler Brown.
Yes. Okay.
That's her son because she was saying, well, she gonna get her son to help us out, which is important, man. Get them kids involved just like that. Teach them how to get in and volunteer their time and be
Maybe,
a part of.
maybe that's what these football players who just who you supported so much, they'll come out and help do that work.
Yeah, that's AJ Lee. I know you be watching, my man. Get y'all. They're gonna be like,
That's
yes, sir.
community service.
That's right. Yeah, that's. You know what? Let me reach out to my girl, Miss Skipper over there, and let's see how we can make this thing pop. Miss Skipper and Miss Cooper, and get them over on the Ave, and we get the Ave lit up over here.
My good friend, Mr. Mark Richardson is gonna come out here and help us out. Appreciate you, sir. He's been busy here lately. We're giving him a hard time. He's getting tired of us ragging him, man. So he's on point, man. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. People will envy us here soon. So we're gonna come together. I see it all starting to shape. So again, shout out to Miss Fisher, Miss Peggy, Veronica McCrae, Jerry Davis, Monique Thompson, Cheddar.
Miss Luana, Miss
Raymond. Hey, look, I had a whole listen. I knew what I was up against. Man. I had a whole team of pastors around me,
Reverend Chandler,
Elder, District Elder Cooper.
Yes, sir.
Bishop Shackelford, who is right now on his second 21 days of prayer for the town, and I know that's what's keeping us. And so, I mean, this a great time tonight with Miss Cumby, who prayed tonight, Evangelist Cumby, who also see as a mother figure, man, and just a lot of great people coming together because they see the need here in the town. And so, who did I miss? Yeah, so all those pastors, man, they were out on the ground. Elder Cooper was out there, working and talking to people, man, and helping them see what was what. So I felt protected, still do. Great men and women, prayers from the citizens, and so it's I'm encouraging where we're going to go from here. I hate to start calling names because I know I'm going to miss. I think Veronica had a whole family out there. The mom, Alice, all of them, sisters.
Pastor Cannon.
Oh man, look. I told Pastor Cannon, I said he reminds me of this Reverend B.J. Gordon. He was just extremely helpful. He kept us grounded, and spiritually grounded. It was just amazing, man. Prayer changes things. When you got to, like I told somebody, they always say, where 2 or 3 gathered, there is also 2 or 3 who. You got to make sure that you have the right people gathered that is praying for you, laying hands on you, because if not, it doesn't go far. And I know we were blessed to have these ministers of the gospel all around us, man. Yeah, Pastor Cannon was it's amazing. He kept you grounded and reflecting on history. Why it's important to be voting. Why it's important to get involved and know what's going on, know what right looks like. So shout out to Piney Grove and Pastor Cannon for what they've done for us. So this hey, look out, there's a Z in there.
Yeah, I'm sitting it right there. And let me see if I can edit that there. I believe I can. Yeah, I can. I don't know.
Who else? Let me see. I already started calling names, man. Wow. Gee,
all right.
I'm gonna get beat up. I'll probably get some hate mail that I didn't give folks a shout out. But hey, blame it on the head, not the heart, man. I'm an old man, so I forget things.
All right. What is the town's email address?
It's Town Hall.
All right.
At Town of Andrews.
Okay.
Town Hall at townofandrews.sc.gov. Oh man, I'm trying to think who. There's a lot of wonderful people, man. We're part of the team. Hey, Miss Bernitha.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I know she'll beat me up. I'll get checked. I'll get checked. Miss Byrne would check you, man. But just wonderful people, man. They're all, homegrown right here from Andrews. Want to see the best for it, and they were instrumental in all of this work.
This right here.
My dad stayed away from him. I was glad, I worry about, him because he internalized a lot of things. 78 years old. He just, all parents. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Is that an at with a dot or no dot?
That shit be a dot there. Hold on a second. Yeah, hey, that's why I do all this stuff before I get on. I'm like Jay, I'm the horrible worst speller.
Hey, where's Jay, man?
Man, let me see if I can get Jay on real fast.
Yeah, we got to bring Jay, man. Jay is look. If you all are interested in these small commercials for your business or anything you got going on, this guy and Jamal are magic with this stuff. It's a great way to message. So I see use for this in the future as we continue to promote the town. So I'll be reaching out for services again. Yeah, tell Jay, come on.
Hey Jay,
don't say anything bad.
Can I send you a link real fast? I got the mayor on. We want you to come on real fast.
Okay, cool, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send it to your messenger.
Okay.
All right, so boom, we got another 3-hour show coming up right now. Hey, y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. Jay, I talk a lot.
Hey, yeah, I talk to my little supporters like London. London is it's Peggy's granddaughter. She's my London. Gigi, I can't remember he's like 2 years old. Gigi's little cousin who calls me Frank DeClary. He can barely speak, but it brings tears to my eyes when I see these kids come out and get involved, man. Because that's really what it's all about. But big time, yeah. Tell Ms. London that she should be asleep. It's past her bedtime. But I also know that she has to take care of Grandma who's recovering from pneumonia. So Peggy, get well soon. We got a lot of work to do. We don't need you, trapped in the house not getting anything done. So we pray that you have a speedy recovery. But after talking to you tonight, it sounds like you're still battling them things. So get well and let's get back. And if you can't get back out, just put all the toys outside, and I'll come get them from the door, so we can get them to the kids. Oh yeah, my dad, man. When I went, he stayed away from this stuff, right? Because he'll tell you in a minute. He said, I'll jump time. I'll jump time on somebody, and I don't want him to jump time. So I went out to see him. I think the night after or something like that, a couple of days, and when you hear your father 78 years old and express how how it affects him, it's it makes me want to do something different. I don't want him worried about this stuff. I'm built for it. I don't a lot of it I just let it roll off my back. When it starts to affect my father, then it's a different ball game. So he did the right thing, stayed away. He's not a social media guy, so he would only hear it through some of his contact with people. But he's good. We can go fishing now and do a few things because I wasn't able to do any of that stuff. But yeah, he said he'll jump time, and you don't want him to jump time. that little fella's something else, man. But that's my dad, man. I love him to death. That's my hero. Jay's on with us.
So he is, but I can't see him. Let me hit him here. No, I can't see him there. But there's a question there from Shakira.
All right, personal life separated. So many people fascinated with your personal life and trying to find weaknesses in. Hey, here's the bottom line.
Hey,
My life.
first, man, let me interrupt you. I don't know why she don't save those great questions for the other half of the. And I was ignoring her questions for a reason because I'm like, these are great questions, but I don't want to use them now. But since she insists,
Hey, it's like this. I'm hired to do a job here, and if my personal life, if you were in my personal life, you'd be a part of my personal life. I'm here to do a job. I keep my family separated from this madness as much as possible because, again, family members see things differently. Like I got a sister over there she'll jump time too, or Jerry, and I don't want them involved in this kind of business because people are going to, express their opinion. You still have your First Amendment right to speak freely, and unfortunately, people do that a lot on Facebook. But I don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. I know what what the job calls for, and so you let them talk. You let them talk. You go on about your business and stay focused on the task at hand. And learn a lot of that in the military. So a lot of my skill set is applied here, and still hug them and love them at the end of the day as best you can. Yeah, as best you can. So Thomas is still carrying a straight razor, huh?
he asks, is your old man still carrying a straight
razor?
razor?
Oh, Dad. Oh, look, Dad is never without his blade. He always have his blade, but he uses it for cleaning fish. Yeah, so he's never without that. But we can protect ourselves if things get crazy.
If it goes left, Thomas says he got bail money.
Nah, we don't want it to get there. We want to keep folks out of jail and out of harm's way. So it's all good. It's all good. God's prepared me for all of this craziness. So here we are. Jay's coming up. Yeah, we clean fish. Yeah, that's all the knives are used for. Now, back in the day, we got some stories and hogs. In fact, I'm gonna ask him to barbecue a hog for this parade, so we'll give that away. Some of the best barbecue. So he don't know that yet. I'll have to tell him about that tomorrow. See, these guys know my dad. No, they the chain gang. I know they used to use those guys for helping to clean the ditches. That's not. They folks who are re-entering into society from who have done their time go through I think the sheriff department has a very good program that teaches them the skill set, and when they come back through the re-entry program, they found that that's a better use of their time preparing them to re-enter in society. So chain gangs are not used for those type of labor anymore.
That was my first job. Well, not on the chain gang, of course, but but out of the Navy, that was my first job. Was Georgetown County Public Works. I got interviewed by one Ray Funny, and that's what I did. Is I took the guys out on the out to clean those ditches, and we did I think that's probably when I first started to notice like something was up in Georgetown County. Like, why we always over at the beach? Y'all
come this way?
Oh, not very much.
Okay.
The folks brought tea, bring tea and like a scene from Going with the Wind. But I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't do that job because I'm not set up mentally to do that kind of work. Well, to be in that position, because a lot of times I would find myself in the ditch with them with the axe, like, you know what I mean. And then, man, I would have my mama cook a perlo on Friday for the. So, but this is what I know. I had to find something else to do. When them guys started fighting to get on my van, they wanted to know what are you doing? But, hey, without further ado, bring my man to the stage. There he is, right there, Big J.
Can you guys hear me okay?
What's going on, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing good, man. You guys are good. Congratulations, man. I don't know
Thank
if I
you,
talked
sir.
to you since the election.
No, we haven't,
Congratulations to
man.
you.
Hey, I think for the hard work, man. You know, you and all that technical work behind the scene, you and Jamal brought the work that we've done over the last 8 years to life. I was able to tell a story in a very short, concise time that really, I think, resonated with a lot of citizens. And I told people before you came on, if they, you know, it's a phenomenal work that you do. And so, if they're interested in their business, advertising for their business, those kind of things, you guys are the ones to call. And so, I will keep that stuff out. You know, you can't get rid of me now.
Look here, man. I'm like I said, it was an honor working with you and just meeting Jamal about maybe about 3 or 4 months ago at an event, and he was prepared to do whatever with his skill set. And like I told you before, when I see his work, it makes me want to do my work over again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, my work ain't good enough. But you know, I appreciate all the nice words, and I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to work with you guys on this selection, and then also looking toward the future.
Yeah, as you see and working, you learn a lot about what we have going on when we start talking that master plan. And so we welcome you in. I know we've got some time set aside for you to come down, and just let me know.
Oh yeah, man, I'm coming, dog. I mean, me and Jamal working on a couple of things right now with some kids. We trying to, and then all that's gonna filter down. We was brainstorming last night on some stuff, and I think it's gonna be beneficial to all what we're trying to do. And you know, and starting with the kids, you know, there's certain things in the culture that we have to change, and one of those things is making everybody aware on how important it is to vote on local elections. That's what's matter to you the most because it's going to impact you it's going to impact you the most and first, you know, the national election or the federal election, you know, is watered down. By the time whatever decisions they make in the federal level, you might not, you know, feel, you know, the brunt of it. But local elections is the main thing because it affects you immediately. And it's important for everybody to do their civil due diligence to, you know, to go ahead and be a part of the process.
That's right.
You know.
But yeah, man.
Jay, tell the people about Wingding TV, man, and what you do over there.
Oh yeah, so you know, like you heard me say it before. I kind of like, you know, Jamal like to set me up. He asked me one question and then go take a break for about an hour. so, but Wingding TV is a marketing platform that has video and broadcast capabilities. So when we created, my partner and I, he owns Zeus Digital Marketing, and when we created Wingding TV, we was looking for an alternative way to market some of our clients' websites and some of their wares and some of their programs and services. So we said, well, how can we do this? And during COVID, like everybody had a brainstorm during COVID. You know, you had to figure out different ways of doing things. So during COVID, you know, he gave me the kind of like to go ahead to start this thing on Roku, right? And we started from this platform called TV Startup. And we uploaded a lot of data. You know, I hired my daughter for a little while, and we uploaded a whole bunch of content that people was creating. And we took some of our friends and some people that had YouTube channels that wasn't getting traction, and we applied them to Wingding. And then next thing you know, we built our own channel, our own network. And to this day, we're programming our own shows, but we also take shows that other people produce and we put them on our platform. And then we'll market, yeah, there you go. We'll market their content. And then, you know, we just do everything in-house. You know, all those shows you see down there, most of those shows we created. And I'm working like the day, a great day, I'm behind the computer producing 3 TV shows a week, you know. And then my partner's son, he's over there producing at least 3 or 4 more.
What kind of TV?
Well, right now we're doing like my partner and I, or my partner, he owns this tournament called Long Drive. See it? But stop right there. Stop that. See that first thing? Say ULD. That stands for Ultimate Long Drive, right? And so Ultimate Long Drive, you can see all those different tabs. He owns that tournament. A while back in 2015, the the premier long drive tournament, which was called World Long Drive, went defunct because they lost all their funding. And so my partner at the time, he saw, his name is Jeff Gilder, by the way. He saw an opportunity for him to start a long drive tournament of his own, but he started out with amateurs. And because the pro long drive kind of like went defunct, all the pros started coming to his tournament and hitting. So we had to start Extreme Long Drive, and then we created the moniker Ultimate Long Drive because he housed amateur long drive and ultimate long drive. I mean, Extreme Long Drive. So he hired me about 2.5 years ago to broadcast, to live stream the event. And without knowing I went by his office one day because he's a marketeer to get my phone to ring more. And then all of a sudden they said, he called me back a week later and said, look here, you want to go to North Carolina? I'm doing a tournament. And, I'm thinking I'm doing a golf tournament. And, and I had about 2 or 3 cameras, and he had his own gear and everything, but he didn't know how to, I didn't say he didn't know how to work it. He didn't have time to work it because he was running the event. And he just gave me, carte blanche to do what I do. And I did an 8-hour stream on Vimeo, right? And the signal was going in and out, and we didn't have good internet. And I had just bought this hotspot from AT&T, but for the most part, it worked, right? So we streamed an 8-hour stream with a little hotspot from AT&T, and then they said, for the next 3 years, he flew me to Chicago to, he would fly me all over the country, just doing these tournaments, and that's how that got started. Then I started producing TV shows in studio, and that kind of stuff. So Wingding is a platform that allows us to market anything, right? So whatever you got, we put it on Wingdang, and then Wingdang, when we load up stuff to Wingdang TV, it automatically goes to every other platform. So if it's on Wingdang, it's going to be on everything else.
Let me ask you this, Jay. So I probably want to talk to your golf partner, because we do have a high school golf team here. So if there's any way that we can get some of our top golf players to be a part of that tournament.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Easy. Yeah. And
our kids in there.
As a matter of fact, Jamal, if you guys can do it now, you can do it later. If you go to ultimatelongdrive.com, right, you can sign up, you can register, and our new season starts December. We just finished the World Championship back in October. I was in Columbia for a week shooting that event, and you'll see it on Wingdang TV. But you can go up there, you can register, and it's based on, we do like 250 dates a year. And so what you do is you sign up, you hit balls, you get 6 balls, you see who can hit them the farthest, right? It's a long drive tournament. You don't have to play around the golf, you just hit the ball the longest. And then from there, you just keep playing. You get paid too. You get what you call it, you get scores, and you get tournament play if you win that tournament for that week, that day. And sometimes it might be 6 hitters, sometimes it may be 40 hitters. But if you win 80% of whatever we bring in. Right. And then if you get like scores, if you got the high score for a certain region on a certain period of time, you get to win money, cash prizes. And so, yeah, that's not hard to do. You guys go to ultimatelongdrive.com, and then you'll see how you can sign up, how you can register. Yeah, that's it right there. And we got Academy. You see all the stuff. And then I got a show called Smash Factor where I produce a show every week to tell about the results of the previous week's game, and we talk about players, and we highlight players so they can get sponsors, and some of our players got sponsors that come in, and because we got like golf clubs, the people that make the drivers and the shafts for the golf clubs and everything, we got so much stuff going on with that whole tournament. So that Ultimate Long Drive, along with Zeus Digital Marketing, along with Wingdang, we stay pretty busy doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? Through Jeff Gilder and myself, and there's a couple of other guys. Dustin Gilder, which is his son. We got a TV show called The Traveling Golfer. That's the #1 rated sports show in the country for the type of show that it is. And this guy just drives around. He flies around the country and around this country and different countries, and he just highlight golf courses. And I've been shooting that. Matter of fact, I got to go to the PGA tournament in January to do the PGA, the super event, the PGA, what you call it, the showcase that they have all the different golf club market. It's like a big old trade show for PGA golf, and I've been doing it for the last. I've been going down there and shooting the top 10 products that come out for the past 3 years. So I go down there for a week and I shoot all the background footage, and we you can see it on on Wingding TV and YouTube and Facebook. So we got and we just crossed the threshold of where we got over 100,000 consistent views every day, right, on Wingding, right? We just because we didn't do any affiliate, we didn't do any marketing or any we just getting ready to start doing advertising and stuff on the channel to monetize the channel, right? The network, but we haven't done it yet because we just charge a fee for anybody to want to start their own channel on there. So if you want to do a show, podcast or show, or even if you want to open your own network, you can do it under the moniker Wingding TV. So but that's what we're doing over there. And then individual producing, I do a lot of separate work. Like I'm getting ready to shoot, believe it or not, I'm getting ready to shoot the commencements ceremony, right, for CCU down here in Myrtle Beach, the Coastal Carolina College University. I'm getting ready to shoot the graduation. It's like 3 different events for the whole day, and they got me doing all kind of stuff. I'm shooting, put a jumbo screen. I'm kind of like streaming it, and I'm also putting in closed captioning, and so that kind of stuff. We doing that. I do that on my own company. We shoot seminars. We shoot everything. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Now, so we'll I know I will, and get with you and see how we can get our kids out to be a part of this. Again, I think the experience will be something that will give them some clarity on where they want to go with their career.
And it's a good thing. So it's not just doing the production, but it's so many offshoots of the industry of filming and behind the scenes. Everything from me and Jamal was talking about, and forgive me for being so long-winded, but it's like I get passionate about just the work behind the scenes. That right. if you don't want to be on camera, if you don't want to be quote unquote a puppet, what I'm saying, you can be a puppet master by doing a whole bunch of work that's required behind the scenes and make everybody look good. I'm a behind the scenes guy, so this is the most exposure I get, being in front of a camera. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, I'm a cable junkie. I be hooking up cables and running wires and doing all the technical stuff. But everything from carpentry to like hair and makeup to learning how to build sets to learning how to decorate sets. That's just part of it. It's just so many different opportunities within this field. And that's one reason I was talking to you about doing a whole town movie studio where people can come up with ideas and write stories and then have a place to film it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talked about there's a company that's here now that's in the rental business of all of those type set.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. They're here now.
And I want to hook up with her and that company, see, because once, and it's always a catalyst, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know where to put the camera on any production unless somebody can write a script, write a story. And so that's the first part that, if I can let everybody a little hint, that's what we're working on now, is trying to get these kids to write stories, to not only for self-healing, to express themselves, but, and that's one of the main things I want for kids, to be able to expose what they're feeling by at least letting us know what they're thinking. I have no idea that what goes into like a Gen Z's mind right now, because they are dealing with a lot of stuff, right? And so if we can get them to express themselves and then give them an incentive to want to keep doing that, and once they write the story, then we know where to put the cameras at. We know how to set the lights. We know how to create the environment in order for that story to be told, And so,
and I'm not a producer, but Jamal, if you would show one of those clips of his that he did for the campaign, I think the one, I don't know, maybe the last one, I don't know, but I just want people to see the work that.
Oh, I know, I got it, man.
I got it, man. That Jay does. On, and I like, again, if you can't, I like.
No, I got it. I'm always ready. I'm always ready.
I know you're on it, but it's a lot of great work, and the two of you working together, man, was just some phenomenal.
But you made our work easy, though. You made it easy, though. You was on point. You was like juggling a whole bunch of things, and didn't lose sight of the. You was managing the city while you was running for re-election, and then you made our job easy. I mean, it's like this was the best time I had.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate
that. But you guys brought it to light, man. So I just want people to see it, and then I'll be done for the night.
All right, which one?
And it doesn't take them long to pull it together. A lot of raw material and I was impressed again. You understanding the dynamics around the town, the interoperation. Again, Jamal was very helpful in helping to get you there.
Small, for when the solutions are hidden.
Jamal was
proven leader is a strategic thinker, team builder, and planner with the wisdom to navigate the pitfalls to success. He's a trusted agent. This leader values all he serves. He is fearless, courageous, and dedicated in his pursuit to tirelessly improve the quality of life for the sake
and we was shooting that on the fly. So like a lot of footage was like.
Yeah, but it was fun, man, to watch you guys pull the stuff.
Like we took the we took pictures that day or shot whatever, and
they said we had it up.
But let me pull up this one with the yeah. But yeah, easy to shoot because it's like one take, like you know what I mean. It ain't a bunch of ufs and
the mayor was like fantastic, man. He just knew what he was doing without a script. He just went in there and say what needed to be said, and that was it. Right. And I had to do a whole bunch of editing, to be honest with you. He had he just knew, man. This guy loved a camera.
Never met a mic I didn't like. Huh?
That's what I'm talking about. But
it's easy when you committed yourself to these things, man. So
your story is a great story too. I mean, I'm looking at, based on your story, it's a really great story. I mean, I was like, yo, I'm enamored because where you came from, how you ended up, and even the story when you was, your military career, when you was in dire straits and harm's way, and you got out of that, and then you kept your cool. Even in that situation, you was cool. Coming home, you was cool. You know what I'm saying? And the position you in now, cool.
Right. You have 400 Iraqis around you, pretty upset about what just happened, man. You better figure it out.
and that demands so much respect. Nobody don't have no idea.
Yeah, this is just the work that he's done, man. This is campaign stuff, but this is phenomenal work.
And
go ahead. You can talk while I just turn it down while you're talking.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But I'm just saying though, it's like when we have people like the mayor that has a good story, it makes everybody else work a little bit easier because he has a concise message. He don't waver, and because he's, from what I see, his integrity is so great, in my opinion, that it makes me to be able to tell the story a little bit more efficiently. And because I ain't got to jump through hurdles to make him say something that he didn't say to make him look good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta
that's the easy part. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like everybody be like, man, how you ask man? Listen, the dude. I ain't gotta. I can repeat what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Because you ain't gotta make him say anything.
He's like, you know what I mean? No, I just like here. I got footage. I already took pictures of it. There you go. We got footage of it. It's like you don't got to recreate nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like I mean, and see his integrity. That's what I love, right? I mean, that's what I love about the mayor, right? His integrity, and again, I have worked with certain people. I'm not gonna name no names, but I worked with certain people that I had to bend the truth. You know what I'm I'm saying? Not to say bend the truth, but I had to find some element. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Jamal?
You had to
Because
massage.
sometimes
You had
you
to
work with
massage it.
people. You had to massage it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. It was this cellular commercial that was on air back around about 6-7 years ago, and it was like AT&T, it was T-Mobile, it was Sprint, it was a couple of other companies, but this one company used to have a claim that said, we have fewer drop calls than anybody. And they wasn't lying, right? They had fewer drop calls than anybody. And it was like a little small company called cellular whatever. And when I did my research, they weren't lying. They had fewer drop calls than any other major carriers. But the reason why is because they had less customers. Right? So fewer drop calls because they got less customers. They didn't lie. You know, they just presented it in a way to whereas like we got fewer drop calls than anybody. Yeah, but you only got like a third of the customers that everybody got. You know, and that's how they do that. You know what I'm saying? So but with Demary, it was really an honor to work with him in that way.
I appreciate you guys, man. That's all good stuff. And I like to again highlight people who are doing great work for the community and how it affects. So that's why I want to do that. And I always, again, try to let people know what Jamal is doing, what they don't see, and how important it is to the kids and changes their lives and perspective. So it's one team, one fight.
Yeah, man.
So, hey, I was told we got one of our Mano is one of our new employees. Yeah, he's working hard. He couldn't work on the campaign, but he's certainly working hard. He's my age and he's in the workforce. Mano's getting it done. I'm telling you, man. I'm proud of the team, proud of the staff, and we look forward to all of the good things that's ahead of us. So, Jake, you're part of the family now, buddy.
I am, dog, and I'm gonna be down there more frequently. I just got to get. Like I said, I end up catching a lot of work, which I'm grateful for. Over the last couple of weeks that I'm trying to finish up and polish up. And once I get out of that, I'll be able to, I'll be free to come down there more often, and then we can brainstorm. We can have some coffee. I'm looking forward to your show, Coffee with the Colonel.
Yeah,
right?
hey, I gotta send you something. We so we can go ahead and get that logo, you know what I mean, done.
Okay.
Yeah, and
because I've been working on it. I don't have. I mean, I have it, but you guys won't be able to see it. It's on my other computer behind me. It's but I started doing some things, and
Gotcha.
But I got to send to you guys for an approval for you guys to see it, right? But it's kind of unique, but nobody never gave me any input, so I'm waiting for you guys to give me some input.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. As a creative, we can go any direction we want to go, but until the client like it, it don't matter.
Yeah. Hey, y'all haven't disappointed me yet, man. So we're gonna get at it, and we're gonna put our kids in front of these cameras, man, and bring them to life. Let people know outside of Andrews what our not just the kids, but all about we got business and stuff.
Yeah.
And what you guys do is a business. So this is not all free. This is not free work. This is but I will tell you, it will take your business or whatever you're doing to another level. It's all about marketing and letting other people know and selling what Andrews has to offer. And so with this Black River coming in, our master plan coming together, we want people to see that because we want this to become a destination at some point. And so that's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate goal. And
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Hey, Jay, I appreciate you coming on, man. But we have crossed over the 2 hour and 11-minute mark, which is always good, man, because we got people here watching, so that means that they're interested in what we're talking about.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna end it right here. Next Tuesday we'll be back here doing the same thing. Again, Jay, I'll reach out to you in the morning.
Okay, that's cool.
And we'll have our regular powwow. But sir, thank you. Congratulations. 4 more years, Andrews. Let's move. And
thank you guys for allowing me to be part of the team, man. I appreciate it.
You guys, it all came together for the good of the town, man. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the citizen, everybody, and I encourage them all to come out and be a part of this change. Put your fingerprints on this thing and let's move Andrews forward.
No doubt. Town hall meeting this Thursday. Peace.